Multimedia journalist Lauren Holloway has been following NASA's balloon program team. She joins us this afternoon to tell us more about it. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you for having me on. I've been wanting to do this.
So we're talking a big balloon here. Tell me about the project.
So we're talking a massive balloon. It's an ultra-thin, ultra-light, massive balloon, and it will carry scientific instruments up into the atmosphere.
Is this it?
That was it, yeah,
okay.
And that was actually at the Wallops facility. So this will carry them into the atmosphere 3 times higher than the average plane can.
So how does this benefit us here on Delmarva?
So it benefits here on Delmarva and in the whole science world.
Right.
It will be better for observations in space. It's going to be really beneficial for night observations and then just surveying things from the air in general.
Okay, now you said the balloon that we saw there was actually at Wallops. Is that where they built it?
Yes, so it's been Wallops. It's a program at Wallops, and there's been 20 people working on it there, and they've been working in conjunction with 75 contractors in Texas. So it's kind of been a conjoint effort, but a lot of what's been going on has been in Wallops, and the main engineer, her name is Debbie Fairbrother. Yeah. She has been in Wallops through it all.
Okay, so they've been working on it in Texas. They built it at Wallops, but they went to New Zealand for the launch. Why?
They did. They went to New Zealand just because of the infrastructure there, the dense population. They couldn't do it in the States. They would basically run into things. So the population there, and then also the climate was just perfect for this launch.
Ah, okay. Now you have been following this project through their blog.
I have. So I kind of picked it up in the beginning of it all. So I've been there since they kind of started talking about it, and then I was actually at Wallops 2 weeks before they were going to New Zealand. So on this blog, they have the beforehand, they have once they got to New Zealand, and they had the launch, and now they're basically going through and talking about how it's been this whole time.
Wow.
You can get to their blog if you go to DelmarvaLife.com. I'll have a whole write-up on it, and it'll talk about the project, and it'll talk about the engineer and then Jeremy Eggers, who we're going to speak to very shortly.
Jeremy Eggers, as a matter of fact. That's a little bit of the background on the project. So now we're going to move forward. We're going to see what happens from here. For that, as Lauren just mentioned, we're going to Colorado, turning to NASA's Jeremy Eggers via Skype. He is the head of communications for the balloon launch project. Jeremy, thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So, okay, let me ask you first, why Colorado?
Very good question. I was actually in New Zealand for a month supporting the balloon program. But here in Colorado, we have an event. It's the 32nd Annual Space Symposium. So I'm representing all of Wallops here at the Space Symposium, so certainly to include our balloon program as well.
Now, Jeremy, can you kind of tell us, you're a first-hand account, can you tell us about the project so far and how it's been going?
Sure. Well, I can tell you, so we were in Wanaka, New Zealand. A lot of the team arrived in mid-February. I actually arrived mid-March with Debbie Fairbrother, our chief. But a lot of work went into preparing the balloon payload and getting it flight ready. And we've been flight ready since April 1st, but we've been waiting for the weather to set up so that we could actually launch. But the team is, again, has done a lot of hard work to get to this point, and it really is in Mother Nature's hands at this point.
Now, I know the last record, I believe, was 54 days. Have you guys been running smoothly? Have there been any hiccups so far?
So we haven't launched yet. We're still waiting for that weather to improve. But you're right, 54 days is the record for a superpressure balloon flight, and that happened in Antarctica in 2009. And so what we're doing this year, it's a much bigger balloon. It's 18.8 million cubic feet. So put another way that you and I might better understand, that's about the size of a football stadium. So when fully inflated, this balloon is just enormous. It's huge. So it's the biggest superpressure balloon we fly. And we're going for that 100-day goal. We haven't done it yet, but we think we're ready. We think we have the right technology in place to get it done.
That's incredible. Jared, tell me what's behind you here. What's going on here that you're with?
Sure, yeah. So just a little bit of our display. So you're actually looking at the balloon right here. This is the flight train just at launch. And so what you're looking at here, this is what we call the bubble. Right. And so all the helium that's going to go in that balloon is actually right here in that bubble right now. But all of this is balloon material. So as we go up through the atmosphere, once we launch, as we go up through the atmosphere, as atmospheric pressure decreases, the volume of that balloon is really going to fill out to that football stadium size.
Okay, all right. So, wow, and you really think this 100-day thing is feasible?
You know, it is. The team has been developing this technology for about 15 years, and I can tell you it is feasible, and it's feasible in the southern hemisphere. So it's one of the reasons why we're in New Zealand is there's a phenomenon that sets up a weather phenomenon called the winter stratospheric cyclone. And basically it's this eastwardly flow of the wind direction about Antarctica. And so Wanaka, it's a beautiful location. It has the right weather for us. And we're going to launch from Wanaka. We're going to go eastward right into that cyclone, and we're just going to circle about Antarctica for long duration, and we'll be over water most of the time, and that's an important aspect for safety. But again, it's just about the only place in the world we can do it is from the southern hemisphere.
Okay, so Jeremy, why, if everything is so feasible from New Zealand, why did Wallops get involved?
Sure. So Wallops, so our role in NASA is we are home to all of NASA's suborbital programs. And so our balloon platform here is considered one of those suborbital platforms. So it'll go, once we launch, it'll float, it'll go to the near space environment about 20 miles, 33.5 kilometers. And that's, for this particular test, I mean, that's kind of a key area for the science that we're looking to do, as well as in testing out the technology. But Wallops has been home to the balloon program since the early 1980s. So a lot of history with balloons, a lot of expertise as well.
How about that? Jeremy Iger in Colorado via Skype. Thank you so much for your time with us this afternoon.
Yeah, Jeremy, thank you so much and for checking this out. Another person who's really excited about this is our meteorologist, Dan Satterfield. So hopefully we can get them together at some point and they can talk the science.
Oh, we're talking a couple of geeks here. They're going to have a large time. And you can follow the project more, right?
Yes, follow the project. Go to DelmarvaLife.com and you can follow the project. We'll give you the blog site and some additional pictures from the launch.